On Sunday night, BBC viewers were taken to Alexandra Gardens in Cardiff, where guests wanted to find out the value of their rare and unique items. Looking at the two vases that the guest had brought in, Antiques Roadshow expert Eric Knowles called the two pots charming. Wanting to know more, he asked the guest what her relationship was to the items she'd brought in. She replied, "The two pots were owned by a neighbor of ours when I was a little girl in the 1970s growing up in St. Helens. He worked at Royal Dalton, and on the death of someone from the Dalton family, everybody was gifted an artifact." The guest on the BBC show explained that her former neighbor was given a fish vase, which was dark blue with light green fish and pale waves going all around it. Detailing her parents used to help the man, he gave them the two vases to show his appreciation. She continued, "I always, as a little girl, loved the vase. Loved the colors, and I used to always refer to it as the fish vase. My dad always said I could have the vase, so I got both of them, and they now live with me." Accompanying the fish vase was a slightly smaller rounded pot, which was a green and yellow color with dark brown detailing on the sides. Giving it a closer inspection, expert Eric confirmed it was a Dalton before turning it upside down. Noticing it had the word Vera engraved, he told the guest it had been made by a woman called Vera Huggins from the 1950s. He explained to the guest that the handmade item would be given a value of around £200 if it were to be sold at auction. Although it was the fish vase that caught Eric's attention, he said, "I love it. The more I look at it, I just want to tell it how much I love it." The design is quite breathtaking. It starts at the top, and it almost looks like a fisherman's net, doesn't it? If you look at the bubbles and swirls, that is pure Japan. Calling the vase a pure joy, the Antiques Roadshow expert turned it over to inspect the bottom in a bid to find out more information. There was a series of markings on the bottom, one which said the initials E. Dunn, although Eric was unsure whether or not it linked to Edwards Dunn. However, there was the Dalton Lambeth mark, which was easily identifiable with the date of 1883. Eric added, "You can't ask for better credentials." When it came down to valuing the object, he added, "The cautious option here would be to put an estimate of, wait for this and don't be surprised, £800 to £1,200. They are some of the most expensive fish that you're going to find in this part of Cardiff." Laughing, the guest seemed thrilled as she replied, "Yes, I'm sure they are."